Hello, today we are going to make a simple vanilla custard slice. So let's check out the ingredients and how to make it. Here are the ingredients that you will need to make your slice. Now I am making it with puff pastry today, which you can see over here. And so 2 sheets of puff pastry. And then you will need a half cup or 65 grams of your custard powder, which is here. And then I've got 2.5 cups of milk here, and we have a 1/4 cup of caster sugar, 55 grams. There we go. And then over here we have 500 grams of icing sugar mixture, which is 2.5 cups. And also we have 4 to 5 tablespoons of water. Now down here is also our pink food colouring. Okie dokie. Now for this recipe you can use your Arnott's lattice biscuits. That's a lot more simple to do, but however in this household we do like it with the puff pastry. So like I said before, you need 2 sheets of puff pastry. Now you need to defrost them, and before you put them in the oven, give them a brush over with some egg. So I have a little bit of egg here that I've gotten ready, and yeah, so I'm just going to coat the puff pastry with some egg, and then we're going to pop them in the oven. So we're just going to give them a light dusting of egg yolk. And then we pop these in the oven at 230 degrees Celsius in the oven, and for about 10 minutes, and then they'll be right to go. So I'm going to pop these into the oven for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to take the puff pastry out of the oven and set it aside to cool, and we'll make the actual custard for our slice while this is cooling. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. That can cool. Now first of all, you want to place the custard powder into a saucepan like this. Get it all in there. And add 1/4 cup of your milk in there. That's the way. And we will turn on the saucepan. Look, it's already turning yellow. Make sure I work out which is the right one. There we go. And you want to stir that until the custard powder is all dissolved. Keep stirring, dissolve it all in there. Might turn that down to a lower heat. Once all that's done, you can see that there is glugging up a bit, so you just want to get in and stir that. Once all that is done, stir all that in. That's the way. Now what you want to do is add the remainder of the milk. Once that's dissolved, add the remainder of the milk, which is 2 1/4 cups. Stir that in, keep stirring, and you also want to add your caster sugar at this point. There we go. And, whoops, clanging the metal bowls together. Now you want to whisk continuously. So this is probably going to take about 5 minutes, and I need to put this on a medium heat now, which is about there. There we go. Making a custard. There we go. Whisk that continuously for 5 minutes until it thickens right up. go, look at this. That's started to thicken. And once it starts to boil, you want to continue whisking for a further 2 minutes or so, just depending, and you want this super thick, okay guys? Look at this. Look at how thick that's getting. I need Adam here with his muscles to keep mixing this. Look at that. Can you see how thick that's getting? Brilliant. Look, you can see the little bubbles and boils. The bubbles and boils. That's really good. Now you can make your custard from scratch, but you want this simple. Well, I think that's really good. What do you think? Rightio, so you turn off the heat. Beautiful. Now what you want to do is you don't want a film to form like a skin over the top of this while it's sitting there. So you put a bit of cling wrap over the top, Glad wrap, cling wrap, and it'll probably take about 20 minutes to cool. But there we go. While we're waiting for the custard to cool down and for the puff pastry to cool down, I thought I would just point out that you need to grease a pan. Now usually 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre pan. Now this is what I've got is an oldie, but it's a goodie. So I've just lightly sprayed that, ready to go. Also I wanted to say that I'm using puff pastry for this recipe, but you can use the Arnott's Lattice biscuits, and I think they come in a 200-gram bag. And for this, I believe 9 biscuits on the bottom and then 9 biscuits for the top instead of the puff pastry. It's easier to cut with the lattice biscuits, but this family, we like the puff pastry, so that's what we're gonna do. It makes it harder to cut, but that's okay. But it's whatever you want to use. You have to make it as simple as possible for yourself. And yeah, so it can be even more simple if you use the lattice biscuits. So we will put the first puff pastry on the base of this. I'll go and grab it. We'll poke him in the bottom there. Can you see that? And so when that's pretty good. When the custard has cooled down, we will pour that on top. Brilliant. Now the custard has been cooling, we will now put it in on top of our puff pastry, and yeah, so check it out. There's our custard, and now we're going to put it in on the top of the puff pastry. Look at that. So I'm just going to dollop all that in there, and then I'll spread it around. Look at that. Nice and thick, and that's the way you want it. Just use the pan in front of you. Get all of it out. Once you've got all of it out, scrape it in there. Make sure you get all of it. Oops, can we see that still? And now we have to scrape. It's so thick. Oh my gosh. Is there such a thing as having this too thick? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get that all in there. crumbly, crumbly. Oops, can you still see what I'm doing there? Well, this is looking terrific to me. I think it's going to set beautifully. Next step is to put the puff pastry on top, like so. There we go. This is going to be so yummy. There we go. So now let's make the icing. Now to make your icing, you want to sift your icing sugar into a bowl. Now I've already sifted it, so I won't do that again, but it's very easy to do. You want to make sure there's no lumps. So we'll put this, so it's in the bowl, ready to go. And now you can add your food colouring. Now for traditional vanilla slice, now this is my mother's favourite bit, it's a very pale pink. Now I've got all my cake gels and they're very bright, so I'm wondering if I should use a toothpick or I'll just chance it with doing, let's see if I can get a tiny drop out without, because usually I'm trying to get really bright colours, so I'm going to try and use a spoon here to get a tiny little bit in there. Did he get in there? So a tiny little bit of food colouring, and you can always add more if it's not bright enough, but you do want it quite pale so you get that beautiful pastel pink icing. So what we need to do here now is add the water and add it at a tablespoon at a time. I've got my tablespoon here, and you might need more than the 4 to 5, you might need less, and you just need to work it out as you go. So you want to have it as smooth as you can, like a paste, and then it'll just spread easily, but it won't run everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to add this, and this is very different to the icings I usually make. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. I can always add more icing sugar as well. This is the beauty of things like this, is you can always add or take away. Oh, I think I've made this a little bit too pink. So yeah, use your, I think I grabbed the wrong one. So I've grabbed electric pink. So ours is going to be a little bit brighter than pastel, and you saw how much I put in there. But you know what, this is a bit of fun, and I think you can do whatever you like. Now a lot of people really like the passion fruit one. Now you can use passion fruit pulp in your icing, and you know, and make it a little bit more flavoursome. A lot of people like that. We've decided just to go the traditional pink and mix that in, make a really nice paste. You can, like I said, you can add more icing sugar, sifted icing sugar. You can add more colour. You can make it your own colour. If you want to, hey, do you know what? Make it blue, make it green, make it yellow. Add passion fruit. That's the thing with this, is that you can add whatever makes you happy. Now I'm used to making my buttercreams or my ganaches or things like that for my cakes. So this is a bit of fun. This is also really good if you make a Madeira cake or a vanilla cake and you cut it into slices instead of making a cupcake. This icing's really good because it's so simple. Now that's probably a little bit runny. I maybe added a little bit too much water, but I think this should be okay. Righty-o, there we go. Time to add it to our slice. Now guys, I decided to add some more icing sugar to it because I thought it was just that tad little bit too runny. Now that's a lot better. That's a paste. I don't know if you can tell that consistency there. Now that's going to set a lot better and make it easier to cut when it's time to cut this slice. Okay, rightio, let's do this. Now we'll pour this icing on and then we'll smooth it out. Now once this is on, you want to cool this down for about 3 to 4 hours. Even overnight would be better. You want it to really set, especially if you use puff pastry. You want to make it easy on yourself to slice it. But I am wondering if it's going to last overnight. Now Adam's away. He's working and he knows I'm making this, but he also knows I'm making another one when he gets home. So look at that. See, it's already starting to set. This is brilliant. Rightio, I'm going to get all this on Oh, it's starting to set already. So work fast. Now you want it to be thin, not thick, on the actual slice. That's why having it a bit runnier probably works with the lattice biscuits. So what'll happen with the lattice biscuits when you use them, you'll be able to see the lines of the thing on where to cut. Whereas with this, now I am thinking my family like the puff pastry better because you can cut your slices as big or as little as you like. Now, I know my mum and dad love this. I'm pretty sure Adam's parents love it too, and I know Adam loves it. Now, I don't think the kids have ever tried it. Okay, I'm gonna get this sorted since I've made the icing a bit thick and we've got puff pastry to work with. And then we're gonna pop it in the fridge. And then tomorrow I will do a taste test. You can watch me cut it. And yeah, so there we go, ready to go in the fridge. Okay, as a last little minute thing, I decided that it wasn't fancy enough, so I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle of white, just to fancy it up a little. I'm so used to doing my fancy cakes that I've decided. Look at that. You can do whatever you like, guys. That's the idea of it. Have a bit of fun. And also, if you do make this or any of the recipes that you see on our channel, please share them to our farm page. I'd love to see them. Comment below. And yeah, enjoy. There we go. Brilliant, that's going in the fridge. Thanks, guys. There we go, guys. That is the vanilla custard slice that I make, and hopefully you can follow along, and I'll list the ingredients down below. You can do variations of it, but it's super simple, and everyone really enjoys it. So yeah, so follow along, and if you do make it, please put photos on the farm page on Silhouette Park Farm on Facebook, because we would love to see them, or even on Instagram, tag us in it. We'd love to see them. So please like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell, because I've got some more cooking videos coming up now that we're back into it. Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. It's the next day, and the slice has been sitting in the fridge overnight to make sure it's nice and set. So now I'm going to get a sharp knife, get it out of the fridge, and try and slice it up as neatly as possible. Moment of truth. I'm just going to cut the whole way along. I'm not sure if it's going through to the bottom. I don't know if I've got that on. It's not going to be neat. See if I can get it to come up. Like I said, it's not got, the first piece is not going to be neat. Oops, it hasn't cut through the bottom. That's okay. The first piece is always the messiest, isn't it? See, did I get him out? Oh, look, there we go. Not neat, but that looks beautiful. I'm going to cut up a couple more slices, and then we might get some taste testers, hey? Righty-o, down to the last bits here. So that's looking really good. Run out of room on my plate. Okay. I think the key is to have a sharp knife, and I warmed it up to make it easier to point in. So my cutting skills aren't brilliant, but can you see this? How yummy does that look? Now I think I need to get some taste testers. What do you think? Rightio, taste testing time. Who wants to have a try?
Me?
I'm game.
You're game? Now remember it's puff pastry, so you're right. It's sticky.
Yep. All the good things.
All the good things.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it good? Wait for Dad.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
You like it? Do you think Adam's going to be jealous?
Mm-hmm.
He won't get any.
Don't care.
They're all gone.
I'm going to be making another one. There's still this much
I
to
would
go.
think so.
No worries, so thumbs up for the vanilla custard slice. I'm going to give it a try off camera so I can keep talking because it's very sticky. So please like and subscribe. Thanks guys. Bye.